Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking 2 wild weeks from the world of Thorns Among the Roses. We're talking major political power plays, deep-seated personal vendettas, and some pretty risky supernatural gambles. Let's get into it. All right, so imagine this. You're Vampire Prince. You make a huge power play. What's the next move? In the cutthroat world of vampire politics, every single decision has consequences. And the team at the heart of our story? Well, they've just been dealt a hand that could change everything. So our story kicks off right in the immediate aftermath of this super contentious council vote. You'd think things might settle down, right? Nope. Just when everyone's catching their breath, Prince Nini drops an absolute bombshell. And what a bombshell it is. She declares that all new vampires in the city must be blood bonded to her. Now, this isn't just, a suggestion. It's a decree. It completely changes the fabric of power in the city. She's not looking for allies. She's creating enforced servants. So let's be super clear about what a blood bond is, because it's crucial. We're talking a mystical connection where someone drinks a vampire's blood 3 times. The result? Absolute loyalty. It's basically emotional enslavement. So yeah, this has nothing to do with loyalty and everything to do with total unbreakable control. Nini just declared she wants every newcomer under her thumb. So as the team, the coterie, gets together to figure out what to do, you'd think this huge external threat would bring them together, right? Make them a united front. Not a chance. In fact, it does the exact opposite. It immediately exposes these deep, deep cracks in their own foundation. And the conversation immediately goes to the Unbound, these 2 ex-Sabbat twins who just arrived in the city. And really, the whole conflict boils down to one massive central question. Can you ever truly trust vampires who were part of what's basically a demonic genocidal death cult? And this just perfectly highlights the ideological war that's tearing this group apart. On one side, you've got most of the coterie arguing for pragmatism. Maybe these twins are an asset, a source of intelligence. But on the other side, you have Joshua. For him, there's no debate. He believes all Sabbat are just irredeemable monsters who have to be destroyed. For most of them, it's strategy. For Joshua, it's personal. It's a holy war. Joshua's fanaticism is absolute. He says it himself. The soul do not deserve second chances or mercy. He draws this hard, uncrossable line in the sand. There's just no room for nuance, no room for debate. The tension just keeps escalating until the argument isn't even about politics anymore, it's personal. And it hits its peak when Zane questions him and Joshua just snaps and tells him to get out. He literally kicks his own teammate out of his house. At this point, the coterie isn't just fractured, it's broken. Okay, so let's fast forward a couple of weeks and see how this all plays out. With the team completely shattered, each member just goes off and starts pursuing their own agenda, moving their own pieces across the city's chessboard. So you start seeing these new ventures pop up. Stefan, who's the new Primogen, he funds a biker bar for The Undertaker to build up a power base. In return, The Undertaker agrees to infiltrate the dock workers union for him, so that's one power play. Meanwhile, Zane tries a totally different approach. He tries to recruit the ex-Sabbat twins into his mystery cult, and he even brings a gift, a single antique katana, a much softer touch. At the same time, while everyone else is playing politics, Matt is dealing with something much more personal. He's being haunted by the ghost of a man who tormented him. So how do you deal with that? Well, he decides to face his demons by diving headfirst into a supernatural vision. So Matt's vision takes him to this spiritual plane, where he confronts his former master, this guy Lovejoy. He's looking for closure, for answers, but all he finds is more pain. He comes back to reality with just this raw scream of pure rage. I hate him. It's a violent, emotional breakdown, and it just goes to show how deep that trauma really is. So, while his teammates are off managing their own domains and their personal trauma, Joshua, he refocuses on the coterie's original mission, finding the city's long-lost former prince. And to do that, he prepares this incredibly complex and dangerous blood magic ritual. Look at these steps. First, he has to find a mortal who's already high on narcotics. Step 2, he drinks that person's intoxicated blood. Then, he mixes his own blood with incense in a brazier and inhales the fumes to trigger a vision. Each step is darker than the last. It really shows you the lengths he'll go to. And you know what? Against all the odds, it works. He rolls 5 successes on the ritual check. The connection is made. It's a resounding success. The ritual works perfectly. For the first time, Joshua has a clear, solid lock on the location of the missing Prince Cayenne. This is huge. I mean, this is the central mystery that brought them all to this city in the first place. It's finally about to be solved. But just as one path finally becomes clear, 2 completely shocking new developments pop up, and they threaten to pull the coterie in completely different directions, just when you think you've got it figured out.
So you've got this 1-2 punch. First, a major threat to Stefan's new domain. There's a looming dockworkers' strike that could paralyze the entire port, which would completely undermine his authority as Primogen. And at the exact same time, Zane gets a phone call. And it's not a threat. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for his career.
And who's on the other end of that line? None other than the pop star, Keisha. She personally calls him and says, and I quote, "Let's do a fucking tour Turbo." She wants Zane, aka DJ Turbo, to be her opening act on a world tour. You can't make this stuff up. So that's where everything stands. They are closer than they have ever been to achieving their main goal, finding this ghost prince. But at the same time, the team itself has never been more divided, more distracted. It all leaves us with one burning question. With a world tour on the horizon and a missing prince in their sights, is there any way this fractured team can possibly hold it together?